right. Why billionaires try so hard to look poor. Oh boy. It feels like this is going to be a spicy one.
Billionaires are not like you or me, but
True.
it's really important for them that you think they are. So important.
Oh, why is it so important to them though? That's what I want to know.
In fact, that some of them are now spending millions of dollars every year for PR agencies to spread the message that they are just regular people that drive regular cars, eat at regular restaurants, and live in regular homes.
Yeah, but no, that's just not true. Of at least billionaires. I know, like, whenever you say the word billionaire to any single person, like, there's going to be an image that gets attached to that word in their head. And I don't know, it kind of just seems like it's just like a hunched over person, like just like rubbing their hands like Scrooge McDuck like and all that shit. It's just like the image that comes to mind. But I know like not all millionaires are the same. I mean, you could just meet some like chilled out dudes that just have like actually live like this, and they're just like, yeah, I just got a couple million just chilling in the bank doing whatever. And yeah, I'm just enjoying life. You know, I'm pretty sure like that type of person exists. Or I don't know. It just seems like there's so many like characters or caricatures of whenever you say the word like millionaire or billionaire.
Homes. But in the age of flex culture, why the f are these people trying so hard to look normal?
Why don't you buy a Lamborghini, man?
I didn't have any particular need for one.
I only say that because I've got a follow-up question. Okay.
I don't have a need for one. Well, if he's just driving on the road like everybody else, then what's the normal speed limit? 55. What are you going to do? 55 in a Lambo? That looks kind of ridiculous. It's still like, it's still goofy looking to see like a Corvette or something like that doing the speed limit to me. I don't know. That's just me. That's just how my mind operates. It's like any type of like exotic / like sports car. It looks weird whenever they just go the speed limit. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I know that's just me.
Okay. What's with the Honda?
This is a perfectly good car.
You bought a house for 45K?
Yeah.
What is it, like big or is it?
No, it's small.
Is it
A 45K? Well, hey, if it's Elon Musk, it's like this is one house that he owns. It's not like it's not like it's his home. It's just a house he bought, and he maybe lives there, I don't know, once or twice a month.
Very small.
It's a tiny house,
That's great
right?
value, 45K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a small house.
I could buy any house in the world, and I don't want any other house than the one I'm in. You know, and that house is in a middle-class neighborhood.
Oh wow, that's actually crazy.
I'm happy in a pair of khakis and a sweater, so I don't need fancy clothes. I don't need fancy food.
Do you have
That, I mean, if he's really being honest, that is a very down to earth. I mean, I forgot who that was, to be honest. I don't know his name. If he really thinks like that, then great.
an iPad?
I do not have an iPad.
iPhone?
No.
The now convicted fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried once had billions of dollars of customer funds at his disposal to live a lavish life in the Bahamas. In the early days of FTX, Fried and his co-conspirators reportedly drove around in the expensive sports cars typical of crypto bros. According to evidence presented during his trial, SBF would later sell the cars and advise other executives at FTX and Alameda to do the same because it didn't fit with the image of the company that they were trying to present to customers and investors. SBF's shitty Toyota Corolla that paid influencers made such a big deal of was about as authentic as the company's internal accounting department. The car, the hair...
I would have thought as much. It's like, it's this whole image that... I mean, this is just one example of Sam Bankman-Fried or whatever, but it's ridiculous. It's like too much. You know how like some people that have like a public, like they'll have like their own internal image of themselves, and then there's like the public image of them. It's almost like their public image is a completely different, well, not completely different, but like a whole different character than like their internal self. And it's like in order to keep like that inner person like preserved, you have to put on like this fake facade because they can't let anybody know how they really want to act, which is like, I don't know, like a super degenerate, just doing whatever, whenever, however. The laws don't apply to them. They can do anything you want. There's no such thing as a fine. It's only a fee type of deal. And it's crazy.
Haircut, the wrinkled haircut, were more carefully managed than customer funds. The group did this because they knew that the image of a boy genius that didn't care about luxuries or power would be appealing to people looking for an honest place to keep their funds. SBF and the rest of the gang were all frauds, but putting a lot of effort into crafting a folksy image is done by most prominent business leaders for 3 simple reasons that are mostly bullshit. If you know these strategies, you will be able to see through what is little more than personal marketing. The first reason that they do this is because even if they aren't running a fraud, acting like an everyman still gets people to give them what they want.
Yeah, that's the character part that comes into play. Whenever you look relatable, and what does the word relatable mean? Relatable means appealing to the most amount of people. So what's one characteristic of most amount of people? They're not billionaires, and they're not even millionaires. Most of the time, they have like some minimum wage job, and they will probably never be a millionaire. I will probably never be a millionaire.
Stealth wealth is when rich people buy products that are of high quality but does not flaunt their wealth. They do this because they don't want the attention and problems that come along with people knowing that they are rich. Billionaires doing a Bloomberg or NAS daily interviews featuring their basic car and geeky wardrobe is not the same thing as stealth wealth. Instead of hiding their financial means...
Bro, this is like such a new term. I mean, I've never heard of this, like stealth wealth. I mean, maybe it's been around for a while, but I never heard of it. It's kind of, I mean, it's catchy.
These people are just trying to show off as loudly as possible that they don't care about their money, or that their money has...
Yeah, but why even have a watch to begin with? There's a clock on your phone. If you need to know what time it is, just look on your phone. Why do you need to have a $20 Rolex? Don't even have a Rolex.
Hasn't changed them. It's not stealth wealth, so let's call it poverty peacocking, and it's a great move for their personal brand and any companies they represent. Humble CEOs are the new fashion. The world's biggest companies are run by men who wear hoodies and turtlenecks instead of tailored suits, and other business leaders are trying to emulate that trend because investors like it. If business leaders very publicly give up flashy luxury...
Oh god, this has probably got to be the most awkward situation. Oh my god, I kind of want to watch this. This is just like some regular guy that he actually works here, and this is like a multi-billionaire, trillionaire dude. And they're just like, hey, let's get you some food. This will be really appealing to the young, hip kids.
It also sends the message that they will be frugal, running their business, and the data actually backs this up.
What role has luck played in your success?
Well, there's luck enters into everybody's life.
You right about that. Some more than others.
According to a study conducted by the National Bureau of Economic Research in 2020,
I bet he would like to say that it was more skill than luck to answer that question. I think he honestly thinks that it was more skill than luck that got him to where he was, or where he is.
2012, CEOs and CFOs who were not frugal in their own spending were more likely to have instances of insiders perpetuating fraud and were more likely to push equity-based incentives to increase their own income. The study separated personally frugal and flashy executives by looking for purchases like a personal car that was worth over $75,000 or a boat that was over 25 feet. Billionaires and executives didn't actually want to give up their luxuries, so they just started lying about it.
Oh geez, that's not a good look.
Buffett does own an old beat-up car, but he is usually...
Yeah, they could, like, a billionaire can own all of these, like, poor people things, but these are not the only things they own. Right next to their, like, beat-up, what is this, like some Buick model or whatever, is, like a Lamborghini, just sitting right next to it. Like, in their garage or whatever. Yeah, that's how it is, man.
Usually driven around in a fleet of Suburbans with a security team. Zuckerberg wears the same gray shirt.
Yeah. Oh, you look so relatable with your security team around you and your little beater. Very relatable.
every day, but they are custom
I know everywhere I go, I need to have like a horde of bodyguards surrounding me when I leave the house every time.
made by Brunello Cucinelli. Musk does rent a tiny home next to the SpaceX factory, but the Wall Street Journal pointed out that he spends most of his time in an 8,000 square foot, $12 million.
Yeah, of course he does. This is like, it's like he's buying, I don't even know what to call it. He's buying like a little thing to be like, oh guys, I'm relatable. See, there it is. There's my relatability. It's this tiny little 45K house. Can't you see it? It's so cute.
Dollar mansion, and all of these men fly private. They are welcome to these luxuries. It is their money. But there are still two more reasons why they try so hard to pretend that they don't exist. So it's time to learn how money works to find out why billionaires spend millions.
Because as soon as like the masses of people realize how much money you have, then there's just something in their head that it just signals like so many things, like, oh, how did you come across all this money? What classes did you take? What businesses did you start and own and operate? And how did you get to where you were? What kind of marketing did you do? What kind of, people do you know? It's not what you know, it's who you know. What did you do? What kind of loopholes did you take take advantage of in the tax system? There's just a ton of thoughts. They just go. And I would say that's what happens with most people.
Millions to try and convince us that they spend nothing. This week's lesson is sponsored by ZBiotics. Let's face it, after a night of drinks, I don't bounce back the next day like I used to. I have a choice to make. I can either have a great night or a great next day. That is, until I found ZBiotics. ZBiotics is a pre-alcohol probiotic that was invented by a group of PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works.
Oh, it's like a morning after, like a hangover shot or something?
When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down.
Oh.
It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day.
Oh, that's
ZBiotics
cool.
is designed to work like your liver, but in your gut where you need it the most. Just remember to drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol.
Oh.
Drink responsibly and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I would totally use that if I drank.
The first time I tried ZBiotics was when I was just trying to grab a drink with a friend during the week. As instructed, I drank the bottle of ZBiotics before alcohol. I was amazed at how good I felt the next day. Head to zbiotics.com/howmoneyworks and use code howmoneyworks at checkout for 15% off. Thanks to ZBiotics for sponsoring this video. The second reason that really rich people go above and beyond to look normal is because it is an effective sales tactic.
Oh yeah.
If you make millions or even billions.
The whole sales tactic of, and I think this is another reason why I think Mark Cuban is like the most popular shark on Shark Tank. Well, not only is he the biggest, but it's just how he dresses. Like you look at all the other sharks and they got their suits, they got their ties, they got everything's all buttoned up. And that's the image that they want to portray. And then every person on like on the Shark Tank, they're probably like, I don't know how much, like they're probably not like billionaires, or they're close to it, or maybe they're a little more or less. And you got Mark Cuban who's over there. Every one of these people, they're all putting on like a character act. It's just like, what is this? Like, who was the dude where Kevin O'Leary, is it? He's like the evil shark and always trying to do something with fucking royalties or something. I don't even know what a royalty is. I just know that's the word he uses a lot. And he's always like rubbing his hands and being sarcastic. And he's like the evil guy. And then you got the dude on the way right. He's like the tech guy. And then you got the one girl, and then you got the other girl, like the HVC, the home shopping network, HSN. And then you got the other lady who's a little bit older, and then you got Mark Cuban, the biggest Shark Tank, and they're all like characters. So they all have to put like some considerable amount of effort into what type of character that they want to portray on TV. And since I think Mark Cuban is like the biggest shark, he has to look the most relatable in that anytime he has like a suit on, it's like he never wears a tie, the button's down a couple bits or whatever, or maybe if he's not wearing a suit, it's just like anytime you see him in like a YouTube video, he's just like a shirt and like some gym pants. But arguably, that's a very good strategy, just wearing like a whatever shirt and some gym pants, because hey, it's comfortable. All right.
Millions of dollars in your life, I have good news for you. Unless you made your money as the founder and CEO of a household name company, or you are a celebrity, it's really easy for you to live a life where nobody knows who you are apart from your family, close friends, and the people that work for you.
Yeah.
According to Forbes, there are 2,640 billionaires on Earth in 2023.
Jesus.
Down from 2,668 in 2022.
Oh, wait. Oh, down. What was it, like minus 20 or something? Oh my God, we're losing billionaires left and right. Whoa, what's happening to...
The publication also admitted...
Or maybe they have actually moved out of the billionaire category and just moved up into the trillionaire category.
that many billionaires are not included in this number because they could not collect data to accurately report their private fortunes. Even if you are really interested in personal wealth, you would probably know 50 of these people at most. And the rest just look like people in suits. The point is that every other rich person you know about is only known about because they want to be. And why would they give up an easy life to enjoy their wealth in peace? It's because their own success is one of the best ways to sell stuff. Whether it's Musk promising that full self-driving is just around the corner.
Well, yeah, it's not enough to be a billionaire sometimes. Sometimes you also want to have some sort of outward notoriety, some sort of famousness to your name. You want to be known for things. That's why whenever you see like a library or something, or like a statue or a memorial, it'll be like the Joe Schmo library, and it'll be like some dude that donated a couple million to put his name on like a building or something, or the whatever something building, and it'll just be someone that just donated a shitload of money to have it built right there, just so they can have their name immortalized for their legacy.
Trump slapping his brand name on everything, or Kevin O'Leary role-playing as a businessman to pitch FTX, people buy success. People also buy relatability. So the clever billionaires that want to use their image to boost their own company will make sure that people can see them living lives that people can relate to and aspire to at the same time. The New York Post recently ran an article about Warren Buffett's wife, who was supposedly overheard complaining about how expensive a $4 cup of coffee was at the annual Allen & Company Sun Valley Conference.
Wait, Warren Buffett's wife grumbles about $4 coffee? There's no shot, dude. She was probably told to say that. The wife of legendary investor Warren Buffett was overheard at Allen & Company's annual summer camp for billionaires, explaining to a resort staffer about having to pay $4 for a cup of coffee. Now, I don't drink coffee, so I don't know what like an average cup of coffee goes for. Is it like a big cup, a small cup? I don't know. Just a regular cup, $4 for that. I mean, it kind of seems a little whatever, but there's no shot that she was probably like coerced into like, okay, honey, now whenever you go to get a coffee, whatever the price is, just make a big fuss about it. Like that's probably, they probably had that conversation. There's no shot she actually thought $4 was expensive for a cup of coffee.
Conference, which is nicknamed the Summer Camp for Billionaires. This story is also picked up by publications like Business Insider that ran it with the title, Warren Buffett just became even more relatable for a billionaire. If it wasn't obvious, let me ruin the fun for you. Nobody at this conference would have passed along this kind of personal conversation to the press. You are reading about it because they want you to read about it.
Yeah. I didn't even know that little summer camp for billionaires even existed until watching this video. And I didn't even know that conversation happened until watching this little video. So, yeah.
Buffett's frugality is credited in his investment company's success, so he is selling an image just as much as Trump is with his steaks and O'Leary is with his wacky pants. For Buffett, this is a better story than a bunch of billionaires getting together to talk.
Bro, K-Dog does not know how to dress. Like, he's like trying to be relatable, Like, yeah, people love Disney, people love denim, and people love goofy pants. It's like, no, dude. What is this? Is like, you know what this seems like? This seems like his idea of like Halloween, but for poor people. Like a billionaire's perspective, or a billionaire is guessing like what a poor person would wear.
Talk in private about, well, who the f knows? The only information that seems to leak from these events is how expensive the coffee is. Being relatable is an equally important sales tactic to people who want to sell a get-rich-quick course. An important element of any grift like this is that people need to believe that someone has become wealthy, and that they can do it too. So grifters will often talk about their humble beginnings while standing in front of a rented Lamborghini. This creates a situation where a lot of the people you see promoting their courses on YouTube will be poor people, pretending to be rich people, pretending to be poor people. Billionaires and get-rich-quick courses.
Bro, why did that image just remind me of Tropic Thunder? Of, I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. That's what that fucking reminded me of, dude. Oh my god.
Salesman presenting a different image of themselves to the world than who they really are behind closed doors probably won't surprise most of you. But there are two ways this lie is hurting the personal finances of regular people. The first way is simply the financial harm that buying into the trope of the relatable millionaire.
Ooh, he's going with the leather jacket.
Or billionaire can do to people who follow them blindly. Successful people telling regular people to cut down on luxuries to improve their financial situation is fine. But if they are telling them to cut down on luxuries to take on a side hustle so they can spend their money on a course instead, that's obviously bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't look so good. And also, it's kind of hard to take advice from like from someone that is like way more successful, or at least has a lot more money and a lot more luxury than you, and they say cut down on your luxuries in life. I don't know how like a regular person would take that. Like would they even like utilize that like piece of advice, or be like, nah dude, fuck you? Is that what you did? I don't know, man.
And it tragically happens all the time. It's easier for people with something to sell to ask people to cut down on discretionary spending if they have already built up a personal brand around driving a cheap car and living in a tiny house even after they become a millionaire. Being a frugal millionaire is also easier to fake if the supposed millionaires ever get questioned about the legitimacy of their own success. Obviously, grifters building an image so that they can sell a bad investment or overpriced course are going to do serious financial damage to the people they rope into their schemes.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Even the billionaires paying their PR teams to get them positive media coverage about how relatable they are still doing.
Oh god, I actually saw that episode of the JRE when he ordered the fucking pineapple anchovy pizza, and I actually tried it, and it wasn't bad. Like, I don't normally eat pineapples or anchovies, but I just tried it one time and it was actually pretty good. Now, whether or not that was like staged, I mean, I don't know, maybe, but damn. I mean, if you got that image of like multi-millionaire Joe Rogan and multi-billionaire Elon Musk just chilling out, just bullshitting, having some pizza, yeah, that looks pretty relatable.
Damage to a lot of people's personal finances, because they are reinforcing a common trope in personal finance that everybody's financial problems are caused by them spending too much. The lies that very wealthy people tell about their humble cars, basic homes, and average lifestyle makes it easy to guilt people for enjoying little luxuries, because if Warren Buffett drives an old car, why do you need a new one? This does not
well, because my old car broke down and I don't make enough money to like fix it. You know, whenever you like if you ever have like a car issue and then you take it to the mechanic and then they say, oh, we got to open up the engine, that's going to cost a lot of money because it's really time intensive and laborious, and it's like, oh, it's the carburetor, it's this, it's that, or something like that, and then it's like it turns out to be like a couple $1,000s. It's like, oh shit, I probably, or and then your car has like over 200,000 miles on it. It's like, oh, at this point it's not even worth it. I might as well just go looking for a new car, or at least a new used car for like, I don't know, like 10K or something. Not even in some cases. Yeah, that sucks to have that dread and doom on you.
excuse the reckless spending that a lot of Americans are guilty of. But it
Oh yeah, but there are that I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit about like the reckless spending that I do some reckless spending. I got like a bunch of fucking supplements over there that I don't need. I can just eat regular food. Why do I take supplements? I mean, that's a luxury type of thing. Or all these fucking bottles of water right here. I don't need the water. I could just go get like a little, I could take my, well, I mean, it's out of a plastic bottle, so you know, all the microplastics, I'm doomed right there. But, or I could take my chances with the faucet water. You know, it is what it is, man. There, to some degree, like, people should probably cut back on like reckless spending and probably some luxuries, but like, I don't know, it's gonna be like person specific.
does take the attention away from their income. After a certain point, people can't improve their personal financial situation by being more frugal. They need to increase their income. And that's the third reason that billionaires spend too much money on looking poor. It helps them keep their workers in line. The accounting firm Ernst & Young in a report estimated that the
looking poor helps keep their workers in line. Bro, that is like crazy manipulative. Or at least it sounds crazy manipulative.
number of family offices in the world had doubled between 2001 and 2016. Family offices are investment firms dedicated exclusively to managing the wealth of a single family. Where you and I have some shares on Robinhood or Schwab, the ultra-rich keep their money in family offices. An article by Barron's reported that one of the fastest—
Yeah, but what does family office mean? Like some office in your house? Like if you own like a big ass house, you just have a room in there and it's designated as your home office? Is that what that means?
growing expenses for these firms was public relations. Many of these family offices are so big that they now have as much influence as private equity firms, and with influence comes scrutiny. Private equity firms are some of the most hated financial institutions because they have a long history of bankrupting beloved companies and laying off thousands of workers, all to try and turn a slightly better profit.
Right. That's exactly right. What we've seen, in industry after industry where private equity buys up businesses is that they're really responsible for some of the worst, most abusive business practices in the country.
The scrutiny has been very bad for private equity, but the anger is—
So this is all business speak, and this is all like really over my head.
Only directed towards the managing partners of these companies. When a family office does the same thing, public outrage over job cuts would be blamed on the family, and that's where a good PR team is employed. It's easy for workers to demand better wages from a company owner who is photographed lounging on a super yacht. It's easier for a company owner to push back against worker demands when all of their public profile is about how they try to save every cent they can in the name of their business. The author of the article concluded that corporations became people, as people too became corporations, and every corporation needs a media relation.
That's crazy. Like, corporations became people, as people too became corporations. That's a crazy sentence right there. Every corporation needs a media relations department. That's actually crazy.
Department. Now, billionaires have been getting very good at this, but there is one that stands out above all the rest. Go and watch my latest video over on How History Works to find out how Rupert Murdoch went from card-carrying socialist to a billionaire by turning conservative news into entertainment. And don't forget, for more hard-hitting reports that can't be made into YouTube videos written by some of the best finance creators out there and myself, subscribe to the totally free email newsletter Compounded Daily in the video description to keep on learning how money works.
Nice. I don't know, this video, I like this video. And it just like clearly outlined like why billionaires try to look so poor. And I think they're all pretty right, man. All the reasons he named out. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of crazy because I've been sitting on this video and kind of waiting to watch it. I didn't know like when, but I really liked it. I was like super interested. I like it. I want to see more like these. But yeah, good on you, man. I want to see more. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for me, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.